Welcome to my channel. I am Migs, aka the Demigodtarot. Today I'm doing a pick a card reading to see what stands out about you to like other people, whether that be family, friends, just random people you just meet, right? What stands out about you to them, right? What's the thing that people notice about you? Before I go ahead and get into the piles, I will say that if you would like to book a reading, go ahead and check out the links in the bio. I have my Etsy there. I have my email there. I also have my Instagram down below. If you would like to reach me through Instagram and DM me, realize that I don't DM you first. If you would like to DM me, I will DM you back, but I'm not going to go ahead and reach out first. Go ahead and check out my Patreon. I don't have any video readings there yet, but I do have 6 readings on there that are written. If you want to check out what kind of like style that is, also check out my Instagram. I have a couple of pick a cards there too. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. That would greatly benefit me, greatly help me out. I would prefer you to help me out that way by comment, liking, subscribing, letting me know if it resonates, letting me know what kind of readings you would like to see in the future. Let me know if it resonates, right? If you would like to share a story, go ahead and share a story down below. Other than that, what else do I have to say? Oh yeah, if you would like to donate to the channel too, you can do so below by checking out the links in the bio too. You don't have to, but also would greatly help me out. What else do I have to say? Check out the Patreon, book a reading, comment, like, subscribe, donate. I think that's it. So let's go ahead and get into the piles to see what people notice about you. So first off, we have the box. That's pile number 1, the box. We have pile number 2, the forest. And we have pile 3, I don't know how you say it, but I'm guessing it's Carios. So we have 1, the box, 2, the forest, 3, the Carios. Go ahead and meditate. Go ahead and take a couple of deep breaths. Go ahead and pause the video if you feel like you need more time. Go ahead and pick the pile that calls your intuition the most. Don't pick the one that looks the prettiest or has the most color on it. Go ahead and close your eyes, open your eyes, and realize, and go ahead and try to pick the one that calls your intuition the most. I don't know why I said realize. Other than that, I'll see you at your pile. Welcome. If you made it, if you picked the box, if you picked pile 1, then you made it to the right pile. Let's see what stands out about you to other people, whether that be friends, family, or just random people you just meet. So we're gonna start off just by this card, the box, right? So I feel like you're a very creative individual. Regardless if you go ahead and do arts and crafts, whether you do music, whether you paint or whatever, right? I feel like something about you is very out of the box. Maybe you dress very differently, or maybe just the way that you think is out of the ordinary. I'm also picturing a pyramid, so you might be into like spiritual things. You might be into like conspiracy theories or something about that. Something about you is very out the box, right? I feel like your way of thinking is just different. Like if you were like to have a problem, for some reason I feel like you would think of like the solution that other people just wouldn't come to like people wouldn't think of this solution. Like for some reason you're somebody that like has a way of thinking that like solves solutions in a very creative way, in a very different way, in a very different manner. And again, you might dress wacky, you might dress different, you might wear lots of colors. You're just very creative, right? Even if you do draw or if you paint or if you make music, it's like out of the ordinary. It's something about you that's like out the box. You might feel like the black sheep in your family or out of your friend group just because you're somebody that's very different, right? You're extraordinary, out out of the ordinary. Something about how you go ahead and live your life is very out the box. People might even go ahead and consider you to be a bit bohemian, saying that you live life to be more in pursuit of creative like pursuits, right? You like creative things rather than like being too trapped into like rules. You're out of the ordinary, you're unconventional, you don't go ahead and follow societal norms. You're trying to be more your own person. You think for yourself. Let's go ahead and see what else we get. What do people notice about pile 1? What do people notice about pile 1? Spirit, God, ancestor, universe. What do people notice about pile 1? Too many cards. Yeah, something about colors. It's like, again, you might be very creative. You might wear a lot of different colors. If you go ahead and paint, you use a lot of different colors, or just the way that you live your life in general. It's in a very colorful way. Yeah, something about you is also very like, you're very like you're an individual, right? You think for yourself. You don't go ahead and follow the crowd. You're the type of person that, you know, is okay doing things on their own, right? You might be a writer, you might be a painter. Something about how you live or how you go ahead and come across to people is very individual like. You are somebody that's not scared to be singled out. You're not somebody that's scared to stand out. You're somebody that's going to stand your ground regardless. You might also be seen as somebody that's very like authoritative, very like if you were to be in a pack of wolves, you would be the alpha. You would be the leader. People like feel safe following you for some kind of a reason. Again, you're very you're like a problem solver. Something about you is very good with advice too. Here with the lizard card, I don't know why I'm getting something about getting, like, people come to you for advice for some reason, right? Maybe you're very good at relationship advice. Maybe you're good at advice in general. Maybe it is because of your out of box thinking, right? You're not somebody that thinks the same as everybody else. You go ahead and think for yourself, which makes you very out of the box. And people like that about you, right? That's what people notice about you, is that you're very out of the box. I feel like you might have a very good intuition. You might be very good with your sixth sense, right? You might have a very open pineal gland that makes you very out of the box, and that like attracts people to you just because you're very different. You might have some kind of spiritual gifts that are very like noticeable to people, even if they don't realize that's what they are. Maybe you don't even realize you have spiritual gifts, but you use them a lot of the time, right? I feel like you're very perceptive and very like, I think you can see things for what they are, but at the same time, you're very like imaginative, right? Because I'm getting something about your eyesight, something about eyes. So maybe you can see spirits, maybe you can see different spiritual signs, maybe you see a lot of like repeating numbers. Maybe you get a lot of messages through things that you see, right? Whether it be through animals or like repeating numbers, something about being able to see spirit, right? Or see spiritual signs. And that's why people like, that's what people notice about you. And again, something about you is very creative and very perceptive. You might even channel different creative things through spirit, right? You might be very good at channeling spirit through some kind of art that you do or some kind of creative thing that you do. You might be somebody that's very good with style, right? You might be like a interior designer. You might be good at dressing. Maybe the way that you dress is very interesting to people, but in like a good way. You might dress different, but you're very good at like putting things together. Maybe you're somebody that likes to wear different like accessories. Maybe you have different earrings, different chains, different hats, right? Different glasses. Something about you knows how to put things together. Also, you might be somebody that's very like you're somebody that's into a lot of things. So when people get to know you, they kind of don't really get to know you because you might be into like cars, you might be into painting, you might be into like just very different things. Like you're not a one trick pony. You're like into like very many different things. You're not somebody that's just stuck on one thing and gets good at this one thing. You're somebody that's good at interior designing. You're good at, you know, knowing different things about cars. You're good at knowing different things about music. You're good at knowing at different things about spirituality. You're good thing like you just know a lot of things about different things, right? You're not just somebody that gets stuck on one thing. Again, you're very to yourself. You might be very well read. You might be very spiritual. You might be somebody that likes to meditate, somebody that's into some kind of a healing practice. Also with the lizard, you might be very like a very new type of energy to people. Very, I can't say the word, rejuvenative. Like you're somebody that brings people into a sense of feeling themselves. You're somebody that makes people feel like they're getting healed, right? You make people see the world in a different perspective. Again, you might come across as a shapeshifter. Depending on which room you are in, you're going to go ahead and adapt. You're very good at adapting. What do people notice about Power One? What do people notice about Power One? Yeah, you're somebody that's very deep, right? You're somebody with a lot of layers to you. You're somebody that's like very deep into different things. You're not somebody that people could just know in a week, know in a month, know in a year. I feel like it takes a lifetime to get to know you just because you're into so many different things. You might also be very smart, or people see you as very smart. Like I said, people might come to you for advice just because of the way that you give advice. It's very out of the box. It's something that people don't just come to a conclusion too easily. The way somebody would solve a problem is like, something about you is very attractive. Like if somebody was trying to solve a problem, they might come to a solution, but you might come to a completely different solution. Not saying one would be better than the other, but you're just very like good at giving some kind of like different type of advice. You're also very sexy. You're very attractive. People might view you as somebody that, you know, like I said, is very good at styling themselves. You might be very fit. What do people notice about you? You're very fit. People might think that you go to the gym or that you work out a lot. People might also think that you're somebody that people don't want to anger. You might be like a very calm type of person, but people don't want to mess with you because they think that if they were to heal, like if they were to mess with you, you would bring trouble. Like you would be a problematic type of person. Like you're not somebody that, you know, you want to mess with. It's like when they say that, you know, if you mess with somebody that's calm and collected, that's kind of the worst people to mess with because they're the people that are going to actually stand their ground. Because they don't put up with like bullshit. You're somebody that might like you're somebody that might transform a lot, right? You're somebody that's not scared of change. You're somebody that likes to rise from the ashes. Whenever I get this Pokemon card, I like to think of the Phoenix. And you're somebody that's willing to work from the ground up. You're not somebody that's just trying to skip steps to get to the next place in life. You're somebody that very much enjoys life. People view you as somebody that's able to smell the flowers, right? While they're still trying to work towards everything else in their life. You're somebody that's very, like, you change a lot. People view you as somebody that changes a lot. And somebody that changes like in the best way. Like you change in order to grow. Like if you feel like you've stuck around somewhere too long, you're somebody that like ends up growing, right? You're not somebody that's just going to stick around just to stick around. You're somebody that's going to end up leaving a situation in order to grow, whether that be a job, whether that be friends, whether that be your environment. Once you feel like you've been there long enough, you end up leaving and growing from it, right? You're somebody that likes to adapt and go towards new things. I'm getting a lot of like Sagittarius vibes or a lot of like fire sign vibes. I feel like you're very passionate, very attractive. I feel like people like view you as somebody that's very romantic or very what's the word? Very romantic or very like seductive. Something about you is seductive. Whether it be the way of thinking or whether it be your attractiveness or whether that just be the fact that you're like always changing. Something about you is very seductive to people. What do people like notice about my pile ones? What they notice about you is that you're somebody that's always gonna try to grow. I feel like you're somebody that's also might be very well read or very intelligent, or again, it's just something about channeling something through spirit that makes you always want to grow. I feel like you're not somebody that likes to stay stagnant for too long. I feel like you are somebody that's willing to take like rests in life, but you're not somebody that's just gonna stick around and try to like be okay with being where you're at. I feel like you're always trying to grow. I feel like you're always trying to get to the next step. I feel like you're always trying to become a better person. You might be into self-help books. You might be into some kind of a podcast that helps you grow or something, right? There's always something about you growing. I feel like you're very good at planting seeds and seeing growth from whatever you touch. I feel like people think that things come to you easily. Maybe it's because you're attractive, but I don't even think that's what it is. I think that you're just very expansive and a very like you like to grow. Something about growing, right? Maybe you're into plants. Maybe you're just very, very knowledgeable. Maybe you just want to be very knowledgeable. I feel like you just want to be the best version of yourself that you can be. I feel like people view you as somebody that's walking their path or that knows their true self. I feel like people tend to be jealous or envious of you for the reason of you feeling like you just know who you are. I feel like a lot of people just are like, man, it really feels like this person knows who they are. It feels like they're walking their path. It feels like they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. I feel like people view you as somebody that's gonna get their dreams or get their goals and their desires because you put in the work. And maybe people even think that you get like pretty privileged too, and maybe that does help. But at the end of the day, people view you as somebody that's very courageous, right? Somebody that's very brave, somebody that's willing to step out of their comfort zone, somebody that doesn't give up. Even if you go ahead and do something and nobody notices at first, or if you feel like you get no traction at first, you're somebody that's going to stick it through. Even if it takes you a year, even if it takes you 2, 10, right? Regardless of how long it takes you, people view you as somebody that's not willing to give up, right? You're somebody that's very resilient, very out of the box, very resilient. Your way of thinking is super like attractive to people just because it's very out there. Whatever you draw, whatever you create is very out there. It's very different. The way you dress is different. You're not like anybody. You're very individualistic. You're very one of a kind, right? You're somebody that's going to end up reaching their happiness because you chase after things that make you feel good. You're not somebody that's going to stick in a job if you feel like that job is like draining you, right? You're somebody that's going to find a solution and try to go ahead and go towards something that makes them feel fulfilled, makes them feel whole. People view you as somebody that's going to ultimately find their happiness because you're always just attracting new things, because you're always trying to grow and expand, and especially because you're able to shapeshift into different rooms, right? If you step in a room with people that like cars, maybe you like cars because I keep talking about cars, or maybe people view you as somebody that's always moving, always taking action, right? If you step into a room with people that like cars, you're gonna end up like talking about cars. If you step into a room where people are talking about spirituality, you're gonna talk about spirituality. If you feel like you step into a room with people that end up talking about sports, you're gonna talk sports. It's like you're just very adaptable, right? You're very good at adapting. Maybe you're very good at sales. Maybe you're good at speech. Maybe you're good at making friends. Maybe a lot of people like you because of this. But at the same time, I feel like you're not somebody that sticks around very much. I feel like you're come and going, right? You might be here one day and then the next day you're somewhere else doing something different. I feel like people view you as somebody that just doesn't like to stick around. You're somebody that likes to keep on moving, whether that be a good thing or a bad thing. That's up to you, but that's how people view you. That's what people notice about you. I think that's where I'm going to leave pile 1. Let me know if it resonates down below. If you would like to donate, you can do that down below. If you would like to book a reading, also down below. All the links are down below. But if you really, really want to help me, if you really, really want to support me, go ahead and leave a like. Go ahead and leave a comment. Go ahead and share with your family, your friends. Go ahead and subscribe, follow, right? That's the way that I would prefer you guys to help me out. But if you would like to donate, if you would like to book a reading, that is also cool. I appreciate to everybody who listened and everybody who has commented, everybody who has liked, subscribed, to the people that have donated, to the people who have booked readings. I appreciate all of you. And let me get into pile 2. If you went ahead and picked pile 2, the forest, you have made it to the right pile. I'm going to start with this, and then I'm going to go ahead and pick more cards. If it does resonate with you, go ahead and leave a like. Go ahead and comment. Let me know how it resonates. Subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it if you subscribed. So let's see what people notice about you, Pal 2. So, I'm getting that you might be seen as an outdoorsy type of person. I feel like you might be seen as a very mysterious type of person. I feel like you might be seen as somebody that likes to adventure or likes to go out for hikes or just likes to go out into nature, whether that be hunting, whether that be fishing, whether that be just connecting with Mother Nature, right? You might be seen as potentially a tree hugger, right? I feel like people view you as a very spiritual individual, or at least you do practices that are kind of like spiritual. You might be into meditating. I feel like people also view you as somebody that likes their alone time. You might be very, very lucky for some reason. I feel like people view you as somebody that's not like scared to take risks. You might like roller coasters. You might like bungee jumping. You might like jumping out of planes. I'm getting something about you is very adventurous. You might like to go out of country. You might like to go on road trips. Something about you is very like adventurous. I feel like people find you as a very fun individual. For some reason, I'm getting that you might be more like hermit, more like to yourself, or people view you as somebody that likes their alone time, likes to do different things on their own, but they also view you as somebody that whenever you are around, you're very fun, right? I feel like people really want to get to know you, or people really want to be your friend, or really want to go on hikes or on adventures with you. I feel like you just like make things more fun. Maybe people really want to be your friends because of that, right? You just seem like a very fun individual. People want to get to know you. I feel like you're very optimistic too. I feel like you could be lost in the middle of nowhere and still you could be somebody that's very optimistic and like, hey, I mean, while we're lost, might as well adventure, might as well have a good time. Like you're somebody that even if things go wrong, you try to see the good side in it, right? If you go on a road trip and everything is going wrong, you're somebody that's willing to have fun on the road trip. You're somebody that has fun on the journey. You're not somebody that's too focused on the goal. Yes, you have goals and aspirations, but you're somebody that's willing to have fun on all the downs also, right? You're somebody that even if life is, going shitty, you're somebody that's still going to be like, hey, I'm having fun, right? It's all about the journey. It's all about the way up, right? What do people notice about Pao 2? Walking with my back against the sun. You got the Tree of Life. You got Blessings. Cherry on Top, Protection. So, yeah, Walking with My Back Against the Sun, to me, that's a song by Denzel Curry. It's basically a song saying that you're not going to go ahead and walk the conventional route. If you feel like your intuition is taking you somewhere, or if you feel like going on an adventure, or if you feel like doing something that people might not always want to do, you're somebody that's going to go ahead and go against the grain. You're somebody that's willing to adventure. You're willing to go ahead and put yourself out there. You're willing to go ahead and try something new. Why? Because it's the experience, right? You're very much of an experienced type of person. I feel like people might notice that about you. It's like whenever you're at a party, whenever you're around people, they're like, this person is a trip. This person is an experience. I want to be this person's friends because they bring like motivation into my life. They bring the want to live life more. You're somebody that makes people want to live life. You're somebody that makes people want to experience life. You might be seen as the life of the party, right? You're somebody that's very fun. You're somebody that's very attractive because of the way that you live, right? You're not scared to go all the way to New York and then go all the way to Texas or go all the way to London, all right? You're somebody that's very adventurous. I feel like people want to adventure with you, right? That's something that's very attractive to people, something that people notice about you. With the Tree of Life, I'm getting that you're somebody that's also, again, very into nature. You might be seen as somebody that's spiritual, or if not spiritual, just somebody that likes to be outdoors. They might see you as an outdoorsy type of person, and somebody that's living life, right? Something about you is living. As they say, just because you're alive doesn't mean that you're living, right? You have to actually go out there and experience the world, right? You can't just be in, the crib all the time. You can't be at your house all the time. You can't just be doing the same thing all the time, right? If all you're doing is going to work, coming home, right? That's not a way to live. You might be getting money, you might be, being able to buy things, but just because you're doing that doesn't mean you're experiencing life. You're somebody that's willing to go to the club, go out of your comfort zone, go bungee jumping, go on roller coasters, right? You're living life. Somebody here views you as like being very adventurous, very alive. You bring life to different rooms. Once you step in the room, people know that the party has started, right? You're somebody that gets blessed a lot by life, right? I feel like spirit guides, ancestors, universe are very much by your side, protecting you and bringing you blessings because you go ahead and live life, because you're experiencing life, because you're somebody that has fun along the journey, even in the low times, even in the bad times. You're somebody that's very willing to have fun even when everything is going wrong, right? That's how people view you. Yeah, something about you is very into nature. You might be a hunter, you might be a fisher. If you're not into that kind of thing and you're more into protecting the animals, people might view you as somebody that's very like you attract a lot of animals. People might view you as somebody that's also very like kind, caring, nurturing. Again, you're somebody that brings people together, right? You're not somebody that like keeps people apart. Even though you might like your alone time, people view you as somebody that likes their alone time, but at the same time, you're very caring, you're very nurturing. If you were to be in a room with like 10 people, right? And 2 out of these people feel like outed, or they feel like they're not like connecting with the rest of the group, you're somebody that brings them into the group. You're somebody that if you're doing an activity and you feel like somebody is feeling left out, you're willing to bring them in. Like you're willing to go ahead and help the people that feel like more introverted, because I feel like you're very like a very good mix of the two, right? Maybe you were more introverted while you were younger and now you're becoming more extroverted, or maybe you're just very good at being both, right? You're something about you is very like introverted yet extroverted. Like you can pick and choose. You're also very perceptive. Like something about you notices a lot of things, right? So for example, like I said, if somebody looks like they're feeling left out, maybe other people in the group don't notice that they feel left out, but you notice it. You're good at body language, you're good at reading people, you're good at seeing what people's intentions are. You're very perceptive, you're very caring. I feel like you're a very good listener. I feel like people feel like you listen to them. I feel like people like to talk to you because they feel like they can connect to you. Again, people really want to be your friend. You're very caring. You're very nurturing. People might see you as a father figure or as a mother figure. I feel like people view you as somebody that if somebody were to get hurt or if somebody is having issues or problems, they can come to you and feel trusted and that you would give them good advice. Something about you makes people feel heard. I keep getting drawn to their ears. Something about you makes people feel like they're being heard or like their opinion is valid. And again, you're just somebody that feels like you're the life of the party. But you don't walk the same route that everybody walks. I feel like you're very willing to go ahead and do your own thing. People view you as a very strong individual, a very caring, a very courageous type of individual. I feel like you're somebody that, isn't gonna get disrespected. I feel like you stand your ground. If you feel like there's like an injustice going on, you're somebody that's willing to go ahead and like talk about it, willing to speak up. I feel like you're somebody that's unforgettable. I feel like you're somebody that people always remember. I feel like people always, like, if they were in a group of people, they would always bring up like, oh yeah, I love this person. We went on this adventure, or we went ahead and did this, or we did this road trip, or whatever. You're somebody that makes stories with people, and people always seem to like remember you for some reason. I also feel like you're somebody that doesn't really like see danger. I feel like you're somebody that's willing to go ahead and go through things that might be dangerous, right? I feel like you're somebody that people might be like, oh, this person doesn't like think about the risk or about the things that could go wrong. They just kind of step into this new thing, whether that be a new adventure physically, or whether it be that be like business or something, right? Something about not seeing danger. And that's kind of what people love about you, right? I feel like people view you as somebody very caring, very loving, and very risky. Something about you is risky. They might think that you don't care. Something about you seems like you don't care. Or maybe you don't care about the risk. Or maybe you don't care about the danger that might lie. I feel like people view you as somebody that they want to like be a best friend with. I feel like a lot of people want to be your best friend. A lot of people want to get this equal give and take from you. A lot of people want your time. A lot of people want your energy. A lot of people want to be around you. You're somebody that people will like view you as mother or mother or father energy, and a lot of people want to go ahead and get married to you, or a lot of people feel tied to you. A lot of people feel like you were part of their soul tribe. A lot of people feel like you are somebody that they want to get married to or have a family with, just because you're so adventurous and just such a life of the party. You're somebody that a lot of people want to listen to or follow because you are so like life of the party energy, very risky. I feel like you're somebody that goes ahead and makes people live life too. Like I said, you're somebody that lives, not just because you're living, but because you actually go ahead and do things. You're somebody that people would love to work with, somebody that, you know, is very good with people, very good at collaborating, very good in groups. I feel like people aren't like people aren't scared to follow or aren't scared to listen to the things that you say, because things that you say are very valid. I feel like you're very, like I said, you're a very good listener, so people like to go ahead and like listen to what you have to say too. I feel like you're not somebody that just says things to say things. I feel like you're somebody that thinks things through. And I feel like, again, you're somebody that's not willing to stand up for what you believe in. I feel like you're somebody that's willing to stand their ground. And again, it's something about you makes people want to be like their best friend or want to be their partner. Something about you is very fun, very energetic. I think that's where I'm going to leave pile 2. But if it did resonate, make sure you comment, make sure you follow. Let me know it resonated down below. Let me know what readings you want to see in the future. Other than that, if you would like to donate, you can do so too. If you would like to book a reading, links down below. But like I said, the best way to go ahead and support me is to go ahead and like, comment, follow, subscribe, all of that, right? And now I'm going to go into pile 3. Thank you to anybody who has liked, comment, subscribed. Thank you to anybody who has donated in the past. Thank you to anybody who has booked a reading too in the past. Let's get to pile 3. Group 3, the Carios. Then you made it to the right pile. This is what people notice about you. If this does resonate for whatever reason, go ahead and make sure you comment, you like, you follow, you share. Check out the links down below. I feel like for Carios, what people notice about you is something about your conversation, something about your throat chakra, something about the way you talk. You either have a very elegant way of talking, or you're like very good at giving advice, or people really like your voice, or maybe you like to sing. Something about your voice, right? Something about maybe you're a motivational speaker, right? Something about how you talk. People like the way you talk. People to enjoy to listen to like what you have to say. I feel like people view you as a very patient person. I feel like people view you as somebody that's not rushing. I feel like people view you as somebody that's willing to be patient for whatever you're chasing, right? If you have big goals and big aspirations, you're not somebody that tries to rush anything. You're not somebody that's trying to get somewhere super fast. You're somebody that knows that, you know, good things and big things always take time. You're willing to put in time and effort into whatever you're doing. You might be viewed as a perfectionist or very meticulous with the way that you do things. I feel like people also view you as very passionate in some kind of way. Maybe that's why people like to listen to you, because you seem very passionate on what you have to say. Something about caring about what you have to say or thinking about what you have to say. Maybe you have a vast vocabulary, or maybe you're just very sensual with the way that you speak. Maybe you're very seductive with the way that you speak. Maybe you have a lot of game. Maybe you know how to go ahead and win people over off of the things that you say. What do people notice about Power 3? Maybe you're very good at giving advice or seeing situations for what they are. I feel like you're also somebody, you know what I'm getting? I feel like people notice that you can kind of see through them. I feel like you're somebody that's very good with truth. I feel like, again, you're very perceptive. You're very good at not only speaking truth, but like figuring out when people are lying. I feel like people can't really lie to you. You can kind of hear it in the tone of their voice, through body language, something about that, right? I feel like you're very good at understanding lies, or when people are like not being fully honest with you. You might be very good at multitasking. You might also be like tapped into spirit, or to like ancestors, universe, your higher self. I feel like you get a lot of like spiritual downloads even if you don't realize it, and you kind of like say it whenever you're speaking. Like if you are a singer or a motivational speaker or whatever, right? I feel like you go ahead and end up telling people what they need to hear. You're very tapped into the 3D and the 5D. People notice that you're very determined. You're somebody that doesn't give up. You're very fiery. Like I said, you might be very passionate. Bird's eye view. Yeah, so you're somebody that's willing to see different perspectives. You're not very stuck to one perspective. You're not very hard-headed. Well, you might be hard-headed, but the way that you are, the way that you look at situations is very different, in the sense that you're willing to see your side. You're willing to see somebody else's side. You're willing to step into other people's shoes and realize how they're feeling about a situation. And yeah, you're very tapped into the 3D and the 5D. You get a lot of downloads in the things that you say and the way that you speak. If you're a motivational speaker, the things that you speak from, right, come from like spirit, from ancestors, from universe, from God, from your higher self. I feel like you're very much somebody that speaks truth. You're a truth speaker. You might also do tarot, or you might go ahead and like be very good at just like debating. You might be a big debater. You might like to debate people. You might like to win arguments, or very good at winning arguments. You're somebody that people don't want to pick a fight with when it comes to verbal type of situations, because you're always very quick-witted, and you always just know what to say. Maybe that's what people say. You're very good at giving advice. You just know what to say. What do people notice about you? You're very friendly, or very easily able to make friends because of the way that you communicate. People really want to listen to what you have to say. Something about being humble. You might be seen as a very humble individual. People see you as somebody that doesn't have a big ego. You're very caring. You're very nurturing. You're very honest. People might hate that about you, but a lot of people actually love that about you, because it shows that you care. It shows that you're trying to go ahead and like better people. It feels like you're actually giving advice that you would go ahead and give yourself. You're not giving some shitty advice. I feel like you want your friends to win. I'm hearing a Drake lyric that goes like, I forgot how it goes, but it's like, I wish the best for my friends. Something to that extent. I don't remember what it is, but it's something to that extent of wanting the best for the people around you, not just going ahead and like giving them shitty advice. It's like you want the people around you to win, so you give good advice. Yeah, something about being tapped into the, you're very tapped into the 3D while you're also tapped into the 5D. You might be seen as somebody that, like I said, gives very good advice, is very good with their words, very good with communication. Somebody that's very smart or seen as an old soul. I feel like you're somebody that knows how to win people over. Again, you might be very seductive, very romantic, very good with your words. You might be good at rapping, good at poetry, good at songwriting, good at just writing in general. Somebody that's seen as very independent or very like, you don't need other people for help. Like, you don't need other people in order to go ahead and succeed. I feel like you are a very community-based person, but you're somebody that takes the lead. You're somebody that goes ahead and would be the leader of a project, the leader of a group. People see you as somebody very authoritative, or somebody that, like I said, you're very good at giving advice, very good in debates, very good with your words and the way that you speak. You just seem very intelligent. So you're somebody that people kind of follow naturally. You're very much of a natural leader. People view you as independent, right? I'm getting Miss Independent by, who is it, Neo? I think it's Neo. You might be very business savvy. I feel like you're an entrepreneur. Maybe that's what people notice about you. I feel like people think that you're your own boss. And again, here, she's here with the bird. And to me, birds a lot of the time signify spirit. So I just feel like you're very good at speaking to spirit, or spirit, is very good at communicating to you. And people notice that. And people just view you as somebody that's going to naturally reach success because of the way that you speak. Something about speaking. Or you're living in your truth. People view you as somebody that's living in their truth. Somebody that's their authentic self. I feel like you're also not like somebody to bullshit with. I feel like you're somebody that's very like, if you like are around somebody that you can feel is lying or isn't being very truthful, is wearing a false mask, I feel like you're somebody that's really good at cutting people off. I feel like you're somebody that's not scared to leave people in the dust because they're not being authentic or truthful. I feel like you're somebody that people view as climbing a mountain and they know that you're going to reach the top. Yeah, something about you is very community-based, very good at connections. I feel like you're also very perceptive. Like this, the fox can be sneaky. The fox can be very intelligent, very smart, and knows how to get over obstacles, right? It's also very caring and very nurturing, especially to the people that they care about. Very good at making connections. People want to be around the fox, and the fox wants to be around people. I feel like you're very community-driven. You might be very charitable, or very good with just communication and the way that you speak with other people. Like when people speak to you, like they get motivated. When people speak to you, they feel loved, they feel cared for, they feel noticed. People want to get noticed by you. But I feel like you're very good at noticing people. You got the horse. You might be seen as somebody that's not scared to move. You might be scared. You might be, hold on. Now I'm having trouble with my communication. Hold on. So you're not somebody that's seen as scared to move. You're seen as somebody that's willing to go forward. Somebody that's going to walk their own path. Somebody that might be seen as very philosophical. Very in tune with your third eye. Very good at channeling from spirit. Very good at channeling messages from spirit, even if you don't realize. I feel like a lot of people have their eyes on you. I feel like a lot of people notice you, even if you don't want to be noticed. But I feel like you are somebody that, likes to be noticed because you're very community driven, right? At least that's what I'm getting. That's how people view you. That's what people notice about you. I feel like maybe just a lot of people talk about you, and that's why people view you as somebody that's very community driven, because it seems like you have a lot of friends or a lot of people that like you. You're seen as also as very attractive or very different. I feel like people view you as somebody that stands out from a crowd. And it's almost like you do this without trying. Something about you is different. at least in the way that you come across. Again, you're very humble. You're not somebody that's very ego based. I'm hearing this song called Move Your Hips by ASAP Ferg and Nicki Minaj. So you might, be very curvy, or have very, like, people notice your assets, right? If you're a guy, they notice your muscles, or they notice something about you, right? Most likely it has to do with your curves, with your body, right? Something about your butt, right? Because I'm getting move your hips, okay. When I be leaving, she'd tell me to stay. Ooh, right? So it's like something about being able to dance, or something about the way that you move, something about, your butt, something to that extent. Yeah, something about being able to read people. You're very good at reading people. You're really good at people, like reading people's energies. I feel like you're good at being able to understand when somebody's mad, when somebody's sad, when somebody is happy, joyful, right? You're very good at reading people's emotions. You're very perceptive when it comes to that kind of thing. And again, you're not scared to move. You're not scared to do your own thing. You're not scared to go ahead and start a new business. You're not scared to go ahead and look stupid or to fail. You're not scared to go ahead and make a song. You're not scared to go ahead and make some art. You're not scared to go ahead and do certain things that other people might be. I feel like people view you very much as a leader, and people want to go ahead and like stick to you in order so they can like ride along. I feel like you're somebody that create waves, and people want to ride your wave, and you kind of let people ride your wave because you're very community based. I feel like you're somebody that wants to build people up rather than tear them down. You're very honest. And you're good at selecting people. People view you as somebody that's very good at judging character. So if somebody tells you, like if a friend comes up to you and tells you, what do you think of this person or that person? And you kind of like, you're not really, into that person, or you don't really like that person based off their energy or something that they do. People are going to listen to you, and they're going to like trust in you because you're very good at reading people. And that's kind of what people notice about you. That's where I'm going to leave pile 3. If it did resonate with you, make sure you leave a comment, make sure you subscribe, like, follow, right? All of that. That's the best way you can support me. But if you do want to go ahead and donate, the links are down below. If you do want to book a reading, links are down below. Other than that, thank you for watching the video. Thank you to all the people that have donated. Thank you to all the people who have liked, commented, and subscribed. All of that. Thank you for the people who have booked readings. Thank you. I appreciate you for listening. And let me know if it resonates, right? Leave a comment down below. Please do.